Hey, what's going on, people? This is my out-of-theater reaction for the new movie Mafia Mama, starring Toni Collette, directed by Catherine Hardwicke. I just saw this movie at an early screening, and I had heard a little bit about this movie. I think I'd seen the trailer maybe one time, but I really had no expectations going into this movie. It seemed like it was just going to be kind of a ridiculous comedy, and in that, it definitely was in a lot of ways, but really, honestly, this movie surprised me. I liked it more than I thought I would, for sure. This definitely feels sort of like a classic, like 15, 20 years ago action comedy that would have came out in a lot of ways. There's moments in this movie that feels sort of like an 80s or 90s movie with the cheesiness of it, and that was good and bad at times. I had my mixed feelings about that. Humor overall, I think, worked very well in this. Toni Collette just... anytime she's on the screen, I didn't know how I'd feel about her character at first. Her character made a decision that really wasn't on board with the path she was going down, but I love the direction that she does go, and her change, I will say. And this movie's rated R, so there's a good amount of blood in this movie that I was not quite expecting, and I really enjoyed a lot. Yeah, there is definitely a fair amount of suspension of disbelief that you have to have in this movie. In a lot of ways, again, that's sort of nostalgic and thinking about the comedies that we used to get, but it does take me out of it for a few seconds a couple of times. But the script was really well done. The movie wasn't too long. It flowed very well, and I was really enjoying myself. It really just kind of caught me by surprise in that way. I did not expect to find this movie to be as funny as it is, and to really be as entertained and invested in a way. Again, there's some ridiculous moments, and once you get towards the end of the movie, it does go in a direction where it's like, okay, this is probably a little much. Maybe you could have ended it where you already had it. It was already kind of ridiculous enough in the way they might have ended it. That might stop you from liking it as much. It sort of did for me in a way. With the humor being so good, though, could see myself watching this again when it comes out on streaming at some point. But yeah, this movie's coming out April 14th, so I would definitely recommend going to check it out if this is your kind of thing. Maybe throwback action comedy. If you love Toni Collette, she is really good in this, definitely the best in this, I believe, even though there is some good ones surrounding her. Yeah, that is pretty much my main thoughts on Mafia Mama. Pretty good time at the theaters.